Alright guys, I'm going to go over some parts. I got this in today. Slant fin 1128, which is for a 044. There is one scuff up there that you can actually feel. Other than that, she is beautiful. Let's get her in the sun. There we go. It's never been touched. It hasn't been ported. It wasn't even that dirty. There's not a lot of coking like in the exhaust and in the roof, the combustion chamber. This is the piston that came with this crankcase and rod, or in a crankshaft. It's toast, you know. I did clean it up. I cleaned it up with some sandpaper. I may use it if I decide to go ahead and put the bearings back in the case, put the case back together, put some moto seal on there, and get my numbers, time it. I probably won't. I will probably wait for my piston to come in. I found a used OEM piston, 10 millimeter, this is the hardest thing to find. There were several of these on eBay. There was only one piston that I've seen since I've been messing with saws. That's very hard to find, so it's in really good shape. I will need some caber rings for it, and if I can find it, I'm going to get the 10 millimeter wrist pin bearing. My bearing's okay, but it's old. It could use a new one. And I may even get a new wrist pin, because the wrist pin's not in the greatest of shape. However, the crankshaft is OEM, and it is in good shape. There's some heat damage, if you want to say that, at the end. I don't think heat really affects bronze like a lot of people. I'll clean it up, make sure. May even give it a hardness test, you know, down here in the bottom and up here, just to make sure it didn't harden it. But yeah, we're going to use that puppy. I need a new O-ring down in there. There's a little O-ring, because the seal rides out here on this, and you know, this is outside the bearing. So I believe that side, the seal actually goes in the bearing, and then this goes in it. So I may be wrong, but yeah. So the crankcase, I can use this one for getting numbers. It is busted down here. Somebody repaired it. I could just use a nut on the back of that screw. And over here, the only problem I found with the whole crankcase was that screw hole right there that holds the dog on, and it's stripped out. They had one of the self tappers in it. I would probably try to get a what do you call those, helicoil, and I would probably try and put thread back in that so I could use the proper screw for it. And in here, it's dirty, got a lot of crud in it, but all in all, it's not a bad crankcase. Didn't lose a bearing or anything, so there was not a lot of trash down in it. I want to get a new crankcase. At least this half that had that repair, I'm not real happy with that. This half, I might make that one work. Hell, I could even put the dog on there before I put everything together and put a nut on the back side of it. And just remember, don't take that off for any reason, and that one would probably be fine. I think it's missing a couple pins up here. I think there's a pin on that and a pin that comes in out of here for the brake, so I don't know, it may need too many parts. This was the original crankcase, as I learned the other day on a video. If it's rounded like this, this is a true 10 millimeter crankcase, so that alone might make it worth reusing that one instead of getting the wrong one. But there's the next saw build. Fucking USPS, I mean, brought me this today, but not that. Both were at the post office this morning before 6 a.m. So they just didn't want me to have it till after the weekend, I guess. And that's probably when I'll put the bearings back in and set this all up to get my numbers. At least the lower transfers need done. It's still got the lip in there. You can see there's actually a lip right there, and that hard corner disrupts airflow like you wouldn't believe. You want the air to go in there and move like it's free. So, alrighty, gentlemen, the 044 has begun. 10mm slant fin. Hell yeah. Alright, if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free. And the thing that helps me the most is comments. Comments trick the algorithm and make it push my videos out to everybody. So I'd appreciate it.